story time on how my mother left me for a crackhead. Now I say me because both my sisters had moved out of the house by then. My brother was still in the same house, but he was more independent. He already had a job, he already had a car and all that. I still needed her. So, start off. She met this guy, let's call him John, about 2 years before she left with him. John was at the college where she was going, attending school, and he had on a 4 piece suit. She thought he was a gentleman and he knew how to dress, real old school. He seemed super nice. He was saying all the right things. I remember meeting him because she had a job there at the cafeteria as well. So I remember meeting him, and he seemed like a regular schmegular dude. Well, fast forward, he ends up coming over the house a lot. In fact, he ends up staying over the house a lot. He's just kind of existing. He's like a couch or something. But I remember around the time I was a junior, I started talking to this guy. And that's another story for another day. But my mother did not approve of me talking to him. And she made that very clear. She was very vocal about that. But John stepped in and he defended me. He said, just let her date him. If she likes him, just let her. So he kind of won me a little bit, but not all the way. Like I said, he was just a piece of furniture at first. So we moved to another house on the other side of town. And I am far from my high school. Now, around this time, I'm a senior in high school. This is it, right? You got to get done. You got to finish up. I had always planned to go to college. I don't know what everybody else was planning on doing in my grade, but I was going to go to college. That was always a plan. My mother always knew that. I was always a scholar, very big brained, an athlete. I had scholarships lined up, people waiting for me to go to their schools. I was going to college. So I just had to finish up this last year. Well, somewhere between the house over here and the house over here across town, my mother made the discovery that John was a crackhead. Now, she mentioned to me on the sidebar conversation, that that suit that he would wear, that he had on when she first met him, he was wearing it an awful lot every time she saw him. Like, is that the only clothes that he has? We laughed about it. Ha ha, yeah, he do wear that suit a lot. And then he randomly popped up with like some jeans and a t-shirt or whatever. So, he was like, no, no. So one day my mother calls me aside. It's like the middle of the school year, senior year. And she's crying. This is not abnormal. My mother used to do this all the time with me, not with everybody else. I'm just so tired of being here. I don't want to live in this town anymore. We lived in a small town. I feel like everybody knows my business. I feel like everybody knows that I was stupid about your dad for all those years. And I just want to get a fresh start. I want to do something different with life. I can't stand being here. This is always something that she would say. She wants to move. She wants to specifically move somewhere where it's hot, but she wants to get the heck up out of here. So I say my usual one too. Listen, if you don't like it here, you should go. I'm getting ready to graduate. You should just go, right? After I graduate. I thought that was clear. But as the months progress, I see that she's withdrawn herself from picking me up from sports practices. She's not coming to see me perform. She hadn't really done it all like that before, but she really wasn't showing up at all. In fact, I noticed that she would cook food and go in the back room with it. And I'm looking around like, where's the rest of it? Did you cook for just you and him? Now, one time in particular, I jokingly said, hey, where's the leftover? Did you only cook for 2 people? And she's like, just have John make you some cheese noodles. Ha ha ha. Like, laughs it off. So I keep it going. Mind you, I've been smelling food in the house for like 3 hours. Like, I thought food was being cooked. So I go to the bathroom and she comes in the bathroom behind me, real shadowy, like, since you want to embarrass me in front of John, just take my food. It's on the table in the kitchen. I said, I don't want your food. It's cool. She's like, take the food. I'm like, okay then. So I took the food and I ate it. So the plan was for me to work at the McDonald's near my school, and she was gonna drive me back and forth, pick me up, drop me off, just like she did for my brother when he got his first job. Only this was like my second job. And she offered this. I said, okay, because I wasn't going to take the job unless I knew I had some way back and forth. Like I said, the house that we moved to was way across town. She says, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to make some money before I go to college so I can have some spending money, right? So one day, I wake up in the morning for school. Per usual, I go to her room door. Only this time it's locked. Familiar? I'm knocking. It's usually cracked, pushed up. I'm knocking. Hey, I don't hear nothing. Eventually, she emerges from her room, disheveled. What is it? Can you take me to school? Right? All right, just hold on. So I'm running late for school. All right, that's the first day of the week. The second day of the week, I'm knocking, knocking, knocking. I don't get nothing back. And then I'm really late. So then the third day of that week, I'm late. So that night, I'm laying in bed and I hear them arguing. Like I said, this is abnormal because this man has been a piece of furniture this entire time. He ain't did nothing but make her giggle and laugh and snicker. They listening to Kim, share my life. And now suddenly he a full-blown bullhorn. Now he got everything to say. This nigga in the kitchen knocking dirty dishes off the counter, talking about clean your kitchen, bitch. Wash them dishes. He coming to my bedroom door, standing there talking about this and that about your mom. I'm like, I'm just laying in the dark, just blinking, like, who the hell this nigga think he is? So the next morning, instead of being late, my mother's already up. We go get in the car and we're driving to my school. We get outside of school and she's like, puts on that sad face. And she's like, I don't think I want to be with John anymore. And I'm like, why? Right, I'm not going to tell her I heard everything. That's embarrassing. You didn't hear him? You didn't hear last night we were arguing and he was pushing dishes off the counter and he said this and that about me? I was like, no, what? Why? Why is he doing all of that? Well, he's on drugs. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, he's on drugs and he just been acting different. I guess when I first met him, he was off the wagon, but now he's back on the wagon and he's mad because I don't want him to, do the drugs no more. So she asked me what I think. Now I'm very cautious not to tell her what I think unless you ask me. I said, I think that you can do better, which is true. My mother wouldn't even smoke a cigarette. She gets sick from drinking a little sugary glass of margarita. Why would you want to kick it with a nigga that don't give a fuck about his body? You deserve better. She flips out on me. What you trying to say? Hits the brakes in the car. I'm like, what am I saying wrong? He makes me happy, this and that. I'm like, you just said that you didn't want to be with him no more. I was just upset. I thought you was going to tell me something positive. Not if you're telling me that he's acting like this and that he has this problem. You know what? You don't know. And I'm like, I don't have anything else to say about it. I didn't know I was going to offend you. I wasn't trying to. I'm sorry. She's like seething with anger, right? I get out the car to, go into the school, and per usual, like I told y'all before, it's tradition in our family to reach over, hug the person and say, see you later, I love you. I barely got anything back. I don't even think she lifted up her hand to like pat mine or nothing like that. This story gonna need a part two. Sorry, I don't even try. I try not to do part twos, but this one gonna need a part two.